Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing an art journal / scrapbook layout for you using the Jefferies and Lynn Grieveson collab from Hear My Voice called Believing. That is this month's prompt. And so let me share with you the elements that I have printed from this collection. The photo itself is cropped onto some concentric circles that are part of one of the journal cards. And this is my background paper, which is a combination of 3 of the pattern papers from the collection, and then various elements, the bird, the circles, the believe word art, those beautiful branches, the handwritten script, and the snowflake patterned paper. And then I've also added the notes that you can see there at the right hand corner. All of these things have various degrees of symbolism and meaning to this layout, and I'll continue to explain that as we go through. I've also, for the dimensional part of the layout, I've printed out the butterfly and these 2 stickers or postage stamps, and I've added the little tiny pins that are in the upper corner. This is one of the word art pieces along with mixed media X added to it, and then washi strip and a label. And this is one of the word strips here in the collection that says something bigger, something better. I've also printed, look at this beautiful floral piece. The dimension on this, it's hard to see it on camera, but I hope you'll check out the layout photos at the end. And then this little girl praying, which has an infinite amount of depth of meaning to me. And I also loved this journal card or pocket card with the angel and the star. And I added some stitching to that. And then this is just a small bit of leftover pink vellum that I had, and I'm pulling from the floral, which has some purple in it, but also has just a tiny hint of pink that is kind of a surprise color here. But I wanted to incorporate this vellum because I feel like it will soften some of the edges of these elements that are printed and coming out of the page, so to speak. And that's something that I really want. I wanted the edges to be softened a little bit. I did the technique when I created the background papers. I did a similar technique before where I used these edges as a jumping off point for the page design. And so where these 3 pattern papers meet becomes where the photo will go. And then everything, all the other elements become supporting elements for the photo. Now, an interesting little play here on shape and size. I've talked before about hierarchy of elements where you establish that one thing has more priority because it's bigger. And in this layout, I'm playing on that because the photo itself is smaller than the pocket card. And I think that's okay. I'm making that pocket card a little bit smaller by overlapping the stamps and tucking that flower underneath. And again, kind of softening the edges a little bit with that vellum, and they all play nicely together. They all become this interesting little collage, an interesting little dance of product here in on this layout. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the symbolism of the elements that I chose for this layout. And the first one is pretty bold and black on white, the believe word art that's repeated several times on the right hand side. I repeated that word art to emphasize that feeling of being forced to believe something that you're not sure you buy into, or being clobbered with those beliefs as a child. And the bird on the left-hand side represents the approaching freedom along with the butterfly. But notice how the bird sort of falls off of the page. And that's because her wings are clipped. The other thing that I really loved is the concentric circles where the photo is. And the circles represent infinity. And what happens once you let go of beliefs that hold you back is that you become a part of an infinite circle of learning. And it's not a circle that just goes around and around. It's actually a spiral, I feel like, that expands. The universe ever expands. Learning ever expands, and we expand with the universe. And that's something that I really find hope in and joy in now that I've been able to let go of those older beliefs that didn't serve me. So there's joy in that. And then let's see, the child that's praying there represents some of the loss of family and friends along this journey. And then I wrote on the little black label a quote from a Poison song, "Give me something to believe in." As a Gen Xer, I feel like that's a very fitting anthem here for this layout. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will be sure to link this collection down below. Also be sure to subscribe to Rachel and Lynn's Substack. Substack is where you will just receive emails periodically with updates about Hear My Voice, updates about new collections that they are launching, and of course design team inspiration and Rachel and Lynn's almost like a blog. Substack is almost like a blog, but you'll be able to keep up to date with these projects. I'll see you back here again real soon. Bye bye.